Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I am the old guy. We are on Monster Island, and this is a special episode today to go over some of the grinders and to do kind of a island tour here. So give you some of my reasons behind building the way I do, and in particular, I wanted to show the Slayer grinders. So I did pop an orb of flight, so we got a little bit of extra mobility here. So first of all, I almost always build with cobblestone because if most of the people watching know that I value efficiency and functionality over form. If I can make it look nice, I will, but for the most part, I try to make something that's efficient and functional first and worry about looks second. So anyways, this here is the ghoul grinder, which I hope to never use again because they are a bear. So what I've got here is that now I went ahead and covered it over, and before I did put these glowstone blocks in because I realized in the ghoul recording that I did that nothing came through. So anyways, what this allows you to do is to use a zombie egg to pop it, let the zombie beat you up, munch on golden apples until a ghoul appears, and then you can quickly zip up out of the way and drop down and get any gear that you need. For instance, I've got a nice sword in here and my zombie eggs and everything. So then once you get that, then you can come in here and slay up the ghouls, especially if you have a good sword with a high combo. This has got combo 5, and use slay, you can get right through them. Otherwise you have to have guillotine on the sword in order to decap them. I think that's what this one, yeah, so I've got guillotine X in here. But anyways, so one of the things you'll notice about my builds are that I use half slabs quite a bit in order to get the space to get to the mobs without them getting to me. So I try to use half slabs in order to get that. So anyways, this is the ghoul grinder. It works okay. The ghouls take so long to spawn that I won't do it again. I really, unless there's maybe a challenge to do 5 of them or something, because you really do go through the golden apples quite a bit, and it's really just painful to wait for them to spawn while they're beating you up. It's really pretty painful. So anyways, that's the ghoul grinder right there. I do have an egg cracker, I call it, over here. So if I've got a challenge that I need just a few specific mobs, then I can come in here and put them down and then slay them. I've been using this for the clue, is it jelly or something like that, where you have to spawn in a slime. So I've been using this egg cracker, I call it, to do that. So then next on the list over here we have the werewolf grinder. Hi, Mr. Spider. The werewolf grinder is probably one of the more complicated ones. So we start out up here with sheep spawners. I got a whole bunch of sheep spawners set in here. They need grass to spawn on. Over here I have dispensers with water buckets in them, and then repeaters along here with a little redstone circuit, and then a button over here. So when I push this button, we get water that'll push that sheep into that other trench over there. And yeah, so and the Skybounds seems to want to have these repeaters pushing these dispensers here. But anyway, so then I've got a water source that pushes the sheep down into this pit over here. And one of the things about this pit is you can see right there those half slabs. The sheep can fit underneath those half slabs there, and that's pretty important when you're taking care of these sheep. What I like to do is get the sheep in here, and then if you hit them, they'll come back to you. You see how they're moving closer to me. So once you get the get the sheep in here, now you see it's underneath that half slab, so that when a werewolf spawns, they first spawn as a skeleton with armor, then you can push them out from underneath that half slab most of the time, and then you can keep killing the sheep. You don't want to turn those werewolves into the actual the dogs, the wolf version of the werewolf, until you have to. So once you get all your stack of sheep done, then the thing that you can do is, I have another dispenser right here that's got a lava bucket in it. Just hit the button, it dispenses lava, and then that will take out the skeleton version of the werewolves. Now you see I have this piston up here, and that's to keep the skeleton versions of the werewolf out from the trap, because I want them to die in here to the lava. It takes them a little bit. There is one dead spot over in this corner, but if you have to, you can come over here and whack them back into the lava. So then after they've turned into the wolf versions, then I come over here, hit this lever, they come up these stairs, and you can see right here I've got a block and a half slab, so they fall into this little space right here, and they can't get back out because of that half slab, and then you can whack them right here. I do have a door and 2 blocks here, I don't know, just to give me the extra, or make this a little bit narrow is the way I did that. So that half slab and that block keeps the werewolves from jumping back out. If they turn into the dog versions of the werewolf, and there's still sheep here, there's a good chance they'll just go right through your sheep, and you'll lose that whole stack. That can only be done at night, so it's a little bit of pain but you gotta let the sheep stack up to as high a number as you can, and then make sure the moon's up, and then they'll turn into werewolves pretty quick. And I can get usually maybe 10 to 12 per night out of this, so it's not too bad. It takes a little bit of a grind, but it's not that bad. So now the next one here is the vampire grinder, and you can see I've got it enclosed all in glass, and that's to keep the bats out from the regular area. It's almost like a double airlock here with and you can see again I've got a full slab and then a half slab here, and then I've got the glass that goes around the outside here. So the way this one works is a little bit complicated, in that first of all I've got a, I don't know if I can jump up here. Let me go back out to show you. I do have a redstone circuit here that comes around the outside, and what that does is it opens 2 sets of 2 pistons that will let the spiders drop down and keep the spider jockeys from going down, or if they do, the closing the pistons will kill the skeletons or the spider jockeys. So you see right now I've got these half slabs around the outside here. If I kill a spider and the bats appear, then they can't get out from underneath this half slab. So when I want to kill, if I've got a challenge for spiders, then I can just come in here with the half slabs the way they are and just kill through the spiders, and then just take out the bats as I want to. If I've got a vampire challenge, then what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and take out these half slabs, kill the spiders. We'll get a whole bunch of bats in here. You want to make sure you keep this door closed if you do, and then what I do is come in here and grab a skeleton spawn egg, open this door, put the spawn egg right there. The skeleton will spawn in. You might have to give it a smack, and then it'll start hitting you. I like to keep this here closed, and then this door closed, so in case the bats sometimes when they spawn into vampires, if they're close by a wall, they'll spawn on the other side of it. So I like to keep that closed. But anyways, the skeleton is shooting you with arrows. You're sitting here. There's bats inside. As you take damage, the bats will turn into vampires. If there's one out here, it'll usually start right here, and then you can go ahead and whack them until you get this outside area clear. And then you can come, and they seem to like to come down. If I can get them in this corner here, then I can whack them against that glass block there and take them all out, and they'll seem to congregate there pretty good. Otherwise, I can just come around here, and I've got enough reach to get all the way around this side. And then if there's some reason that I can't, then I can always come here, put this guy up, and then hopefully when I open this door, they'll come in, and I'll be able to get them there. So that one's this one's not too bad. I seem to be able to get through the vampires pretty quick. It's just a little bit painful with the skeleton shooting, and then when I want to stop, I can just close the door, and then the skeleton can't shoot me. There is one there is one spot over here that he can, if you go by here, he can get you. I probably need to put a half slab there. So anyway, so this is the vampire grinder. Works pretty good. And let's see, so the next slayers we'll go look at is over here for the goblins. So this one is one of my dual use grinders. So this is where the zombies come in. So for the zombies, I've got a piston here that keeps the zombies from coming down until I want them to. It also keeps out the chickens. All these grinders are the same 9x9 square with a water source in each corner and a hole in the middle. Of course, the spider is a 10x10 with a 2-hole in the middle, because they're a 4 square mob. So anyways, I've got a bunch of zombie spawners in here. They're sitting there waiting for me to hit this lever, which will drop them down. Now down below here, let me go ahead and get rid of this. So I've got a piston, a sticky piston that has a grass block on it on that side, and over on this side, this sticky piston has cobblestone, so I can switch them back and forth. Goblins will spawn when you kill them on a grassy block. So in order to make this dual use, I've got a cobblestone block on that sticky piston, so I can grind either zombies or goblins. So we'll put the grass block back in, and now I'll open up this, and we'll have zombies spawn in here. So now in order to keep chickens out, and that helps quite a bit, I'll close that back up. So now, since we're close enough, the zombies will stack up here until I go through the whole pile. So now that we've the other thing is this glowstone block here is pretty important in order to keep the grass from turning back to dirt, and then I've got a grass block underneath it that should stay grass no matter what with that glowstone block there, and so that way the grass will spread to that one if it does get turned back to dirt. So anyways, let me put these back in here. So now to spawn the goblins, all you have to do is come in here, and again I've got the half slabs here. So when the goblins spawn in, they'll spawn in riding a wolf, and then I can usually hit the wolf before the goblin will come down here. Again, I've got half slabs around, so the goblins can't get out of here. I can hit them, and then I still have room to gather up their drops. Let's see if we can get a goblin to spawn in here real quick. Probably not. I've gone through a whole stack of 100 zombies before without getting any of the darn things to spawn, but sometimes I get quite a few of them pretty quick. And sometimes if you just smack the zombie to get it on a new spot, that seems to help sometimes too. And it doesn't look like we're going to get any. Maybe not. Let's keep going here just a little bit. You never tell what's sneaking up on you here either. Yeah, so it seems like they like to spawn for some reason during early morning hours and other parts of the day more than they do at the dead of night. I'm not sure if that's real or just my imagination. So anyways, that's the goblin spawner. It's a little bit difficult. It seems to take like I said, sometimes I can get sometimes I get up to 3 or 4 goblins spawning out of a stack of 100 zombies. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's a little bit more, but it's usually not too bad. Over here we have the Dark Knight spawner. So here what I've done is I've got a spawner. I've got 3 skeleton spawners, and I've got the Dark Knights need to have black stained clay on the ceiling and the floor. So I've got the black stained clay up here, and then I've got 2 dispensers, a lava dispenser here and on the other side with a button underneath. So there's the 2, and then in the back here I've got dispensers 2 with water in it. So what I can do here is, let me just go ahead and turn off the lava, and I leave that lava on because I don't want this thing spitting out Dark Knights without me wanting them to be spit out. So now we've got the lava gone. Let me just go ahead and get rid of this stack of skeletons. So now the skeletons will be spawning inside here, and you can see there's a Dark Knight already in there. So now all I need to do is I can either go ahead and hit the water, and that'll shoot out both the Dark Knight and the zombie or the other stack of skeletons, or I can just go ahead and turn back on the lava, and that will take out that stack of skeletons there, so I don't have to worry about grinding through them. I can turn the lava back off, and now sometimes the Dark Knights will come out by themselves once that lava is turned off, but most of the time they don't. So I give them a helping hand here with a splash of water, and then I can see, okay, so there's the skeleton stack and there's the Dark Knight stack. So now, in order to keep the Dark Knights from continually spawning in, because if you get more than 2 or 3 here, it's then you're just really hurting yourself as far as trying to get through them, because the Dark Knights need to be killed with golden swords, and it takes probably 5 or 6 golden swords to kill one knight. Their health is at 200. I don't know if you can see it or not, and one hit with a sword does, and I do have strength Aurora beacon on, strength 1, so I can get 1 or 2 hit points per smack of the golden sword, and the durability on the swords may last 8 or 9 smacks, hits, and then it's done for. So it takes quite a while to get through those, but this seems to work pretty good. Like I said, I keep the lava on so that I'm not getting a lot of Dark Knights just running around here. I haven't had any not spawn inside there, and I haven't had any get out, but it's better to be safe than sorry. So anyways, there's the Dark Knight spawner. Then the Chaos Knight spawner is almost the same exact thing, except it's got a diamond floor. So then when they spawn in, and the skeletons, they spawn in on that diamond floor, they'll turn into Chaos Knights, and they're pretty good. They'll come right out here, and I can smack them right here. So it's the same kind of setup. So the only thing I probably would have done a little different on these, I think, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I would have made this a little bit bigger. This way, width-wise, I probably would have gone out to 7 or even 9. Would have been a good fix for this, and probably the same on the other one. And maybe the only other thing would be to do a circuit to have one button for the lava and one button for the water. So I could have a control station where I could just hit one button and have the lava come out, or hit the other button and have the water. So anyways, that's the changes I'd probably make, but these work pretty good as they are, so I'm not going to mess with them. So there's the Slayer Grinders. We've got the Goblins, we've got the Dark Knights, the Chaos Knights. Over on the other side of the island, we have the Vampires, the Werewolves, and the Ghouls. So then, other than that, I have regular grinders. I've got my Skeleton Grinder in here with just a regular old dropper here, and with a sticky piston where I can go ahead and just drop in there, and otherwise these skeletons are dropping, and I'll show you down below. I just use a regular a dropper with a set of hoppers at the bottom going into a chest. Then I've got a blaze spawner here. This seems to work pretty good. I don't know any way to automate the blaze spawner without doing a lot of redstone. So anyways, when I'm doing AFK in my AFK hut here for the goblins or the skeletons, the blazes will stack up, and then as I'm going through and doing the other stuff, I can stop here every once in a while and do blazes. You'll notice also where I have my AFK areas, I also usually have a small fishing pond that if I'm gonna actually just go ahead and be waiting and not doing something else, then I can go ahead and do some fishing, because fishing is pretty lucrative here on Skybounds with some of the things you can get. So the rest of the this side of the island, I've got some jungle trees over here. I've got the cocoa bean farms. These jungle trees, I can't remember if they were the super ones or not. I don't think they were. They might be. I've got particles turned off. And then I've got these ore seed farms scattered across my island. This one's the gold with the stonemason 10. This is about the best way to do it, is to have separate little areas for your different kinds of ore seed. Makes it real handy to be able to just go through and do whichever one you need, and I keep track. I just take a look every once in a while. I could probably replace that gold ore seed, but for now that's fine. Over here I've got a sandbar, I call it. It's kind of handy to have a sandbar like this if you need glass. I can go through with a good shovel and get, I think with auto smelt on, it turns the sand to glass, and also you can use treasure to get drops. So I've got a sandbar here set up for that. Let's see, and then over on this, starting on this side, I've got the farm with the pumpkins. Originally I had melons on that side, but I got through with that melon challenge and had a pumpkin challenge, so I changed them all to pumpkins. And then the sugar cane down the middle of this seems to work pretty good. Putting the half slabs over the water is real handy to keep stuff from going into the water. This is a potato schematic farm out here. I think I just had, I don't remember why I did it. Maybe it was just for the heck of it. I don't think I've even harvested any potatoes out of that. Then my regular farm over here is set out with on a grid pattern with the water being covered by half slabs, and then 9 should be 9 in between each water, and 4 on, or hold it, should be 8 should be 8 between the water sources, 4 on that side, because so the water source will go 4 in each direction. And with having the flower kit, I don't really do a lot of farming unless I've got a challenge. And you can see the rabbit's been eating my carrots. So anyways, this is just a nice little farm area I've got that if I have to do a challenge, I can. Then I did, like I said, I was lucky. I got some naturally spawned rabbits in here, and I went ahead and made a little area for them. We've got another ore seed. This one's the diamond one. I try to keep the ore seeds far enough apart so I don't have to worry about them cross-pollinating. We got the nice big one for iron here and behind the ghoul. Then I've got this nether farm. This is one of the more helpful farms you can get because of the lava sources here. You can get like 8 or 9 buckets of lava out of this. And I've already taken a couple out besides the nether wart and the glowstone. So this is one of the better, more useful ones. Then I've got a farm here with horses and cows. It's always, there's a couple of horse challenges. That's always a problem if you don't have horses. So and the cows, there's a couple cow challenges too. Then I've got the coal or seed farm over here. So coming back this way, so I unlocked the reindeer eye kit and the reindeer poop pickaxe that will spawn in random ores. And it spawns it in a 5x5 square that is three blocks high. So I was trying to, and when it does that, it has regular smooth stone in there quite a bit. So I was trying to figure out what the best thing to do there would be. So I came up with this way here, where I have block seeds that are sitting here, and I can mine out the ores and everything, and then come back with the reindeer pick and place these down in the same spot and use up these block seeds, the block ore seeds, so that I don't have to have a special area for them. So that works pretty good. I get pretty good. I think the last time I checked, I was getting like 1.5 million to 2 million stars per pile of reindeer poop here, so that works pretty good. And then I've got coming back around, we've got the emerald ore seed farm right by our spawn point. Then I've got my storage area. So one of the things that I do is, if I do a spawn, this is the direction that you always face when you spawn in. Now if I was going to have a lot of shops or something, I may put the shops over there or over there, so that when people spawn in the island, they can see it right away without having to look around. But anyways, I always put the storage space on the direction that I spawn in, just so I know where I'm at. And I've got just a set of chests to look around. I've got my vault and my auto smelter and a workbench here. And then over here, these are the other grinders I have. I've got the iron golem grinder, and the people that have watched me before see that how easy this is. This makes it to grind through iron golems and have them be a kind of a auto grinder here. I think right now I've got quite a few, so I've got 9, 10, 11 iron golem spawners, and it keeps me pretty busy emptying out the drops on this. So I would not put any more iron golem spawners in. In fact, I'm gonna start saving them up here. I've already got a blaze, an enderman, and an iron golem from the drops. So that's the iron golem spawner. I wanted to jump up here and let you look at something. So over on this side is my enderman spawner, and so it's a 9x9. It shares a common wall with the witch spawner, which is also a 9x9, and those both have drops that go down below my island. Then over here is this is the top of the spider spawner, and then next to it is the iron golem. This works out real well for making common grinders here. You can see the the distance for the iron golems is the same as the distance for the spiders, and then you just have to bump it out one block on this very edge over here in order to fit the spiders in. So this seems to work pretty good for the witches and the Endermen. If I needed to grind on them, I can just put a block, and I've been using just regular cobblestone, have them drop down and they'll stack up, and then just jump in on them and go to town, and then when I'm done I can just go ahead and get rid of that block and it'll drop down to the bottom. For the Endermen, if I'm going to have to do a lot of them, I'll put that block down, but then I'll put a bucket of water in that hole too, so that sometimes if you put a block here, when they take too much damage and they hit that the first time, like that right there, they're already gone somewhere else. Okay, so this guy stayed, so they'll start stacking up now, and then you do the same thing. You can just jump right in there and go to town on them. So we'll let him go down, and now we'll go down. I do have a couple of spots here to get down. We'll go ahead and I don't remember. I think this is about 50 high, but they're just the droppers for the Enderman and the Witch, with regular hoppers and a chest underneath. You see this one I've already got to clean out again. And the Witches. See if we got anything good in here. Not really. I cleaned that up. Oh, spider, go away. And then over here are the droppers for the skeletons and the zombies. So that's my island. It seems to work pretty good. Couple things that I'm gonna, next time I build some of this, is make these up one block higher. Like these over here are 3 block high. I'll probably move them up to 4, and then over on this side, these guys, I definitely will make especially the zombie one, at least 2 more blocks higher, so I've got room to work underneath it, and then that should give me enough room to make a decent control room or AFK house. So anyways, I've been talking for quite a while here. So but that's the Slayer Grinder and the island tour for people that may have just been joining. I'll be using this video to point people to some ideas for their grinders. So we'll go ahead and get this posted. I want to say thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're hitting that like button, subscribing if you're new. Everyone, take care and be good.